Nearly 37,000 people crossed the English Channel on small boats in 2024. Migrants, mainly from North Africa, the Middle East and elsewhere in Europe, pay thousands of dollars to traffickers to try to cross one of the world's busiest shipping routes. Britain's Prime Minister Keir Starmer is under pressure to crack down on the flow of migrants attempting to make the dangerous and illegal journey to the UK via France's northern coast. Starmer says that if you're going to smash a gang that's driven by money, you need to follow the money. And he plans to do that by introducing a new sanctions regime on smuggling networks. Now, under the plans announced last week, the government could freeze the assets of those suspected of people smuggling and implement travel bans against them. The proposed measures would mean UK-based individuals and financial institutions would be barred by law from dealing with those sanctioned. Critics say, though, the measures are not enough to stop the small boat crossings. Starmer has abolished the controversial Rwanda scheme established by the previous Conservative government, which planned to deport migrants arriving in the UK illegally to Rwanda. Peter Walsh is a senior researcher at the Migration Observatory and the University of Oxford, lecturer in migration studies. He joins us now from Oxford. Good to have you with us, Peter. So how big of a problem is the issue of people smuggling in the UK, and what impact do migrants have on the British economy?
It is a big problem. It certainly attracts an outsized proportion of attention, mostly negative attention. You mentioned that last year, some 36,000 people arrived in small boats without authorization across the English Channel. Now, almost all of those, if not all of them, so far as we are aware, had their journeys facilitated by smugglers. These days, it's just not possible to make that journey without the assistance of these people smuggling networks. Now, with regard to effects on the economy, if we're thinking about unauthorized migrants, and by the way, most of these migrants, once they arrive in the UK, they claim asylum. And according to UK law, they're not permitted to work until they've been in the country for at least 12 months. So that's waiting for at least 12 months for a decision on their asylum claim, and waiting for that period through no fault of their own. And that's quite a large share of people, but that's a fairly restrictive policy. Other countries like Sweden, Australia, Canada allow asylum seekers to work straight away. Germany, it's after 3 months. So that's quite a tough policy. And we have seen in recent months, and indeed years, pressure on the government from refugee charities, most recently from the head of the Migration Advisory Committee, that's the independent body that advises the government on its migration policy, to actually